Good evening. This is News.PH, but it's not politics as usual. Our guest tonight needs no further introduction. Safe to say that he's used the DOM word, in a manner of speaking, in a press conference in Malacanang. Presidential spokesman Edwin Lacierda.
Hi,
Good evening,
Pia.
Secretary.
Good evening, Pia.
Yeah. Ano yung DOM na yun?
Yung
What did you mean by
DOM
that?
stands for Deny, Obscure, and Misdirect.
Okay, and who were you referring to?
Referring to
Gumagamit
those
ng
people
ganun?
who are misdirecting the issue from the misuse of the government funds, those people who stole the government funds and directing the issues to us, making it appear as though kami ang may kasalanan, kami ang nagkasala, kami ang gumawa ng kalokohan, whereas in truth and in fact, hindi naman kami yun.
So from PDAF to DAP, parang the diversion.
PDAF to DAP, whatever issue that
digression.
they'll try
Yeah.
to hit us with.
Okay, okay.
And-
Yeah. Anyway, I was going to say that Attorney Lacierda is also at the Wende on Twitter. Can you just tell us why your Twitter name is...
Oh, because I was
Duwende.
small then, nung bata pa ako. I was so small.
So you were
My
bullied
nickname was Dawend, but they called me Duwende because I was so small.
as in Duende?
Duwende, so they called it Duwende.
Lagot. From now on, people are
And
going
that's
to
why
be...
my Twitter name has never been official because I'm supposed to be the spokesperson.
Yeah.
Parang they don't believe it's real, my real Twitter name.
Oo. Pero Duende, that's also Edwin in River.
But they changed it to Duwende, I don't know.
Okay.
Bata pa kami.
Your mother's hometown is Loon, Bohol, so you should be there.
Yeah, because you forced me to be here.
O hindi naman.
No,
hindi
but
naman.
we went there to Loon with Secretary Mar and Secretary Dinky Soliman, and together with General Del
Last
Rosario.
week, yeah.
It was heart-wrenching to see I visited the hospital a year back, and then it was a very good hospital. I met the doctors then before. And when I saw the present situation, it was really heart-wrenching for the people of Loon. And we also visited some other towns. Talagang, and we were meeting one time, we were discussing the coordination meeting with Secretary Mar, Dinky, and Governor Chato. Tapos
Yes.
gumalaw.
Nag-aftershock.
Nag-aftershock, ang lakas ng aftershock talagang. And that's the reason why the people don't want to go back to their houses kasi natatakot pa rin. So they're staying in the tents.
Yeah. Why, by the way, did the president feel the need to go back to Bohol and to stay like tonight? He's staying in Loon.
Yes, because he wants to send a strong message to the people of Bohol that he wants to be with them in this time of difficulty for the people of Bohol. And so he's there to provide relief. It's also a very strong message, and his presence is reassuring. In fact, when I was there in Loon, our townmates were telling us, pupunta ba rito si Presidente? And I said, pupunta naman ho dito yan pag uwi lang ng South Korea. And so they were very eager to see the President.
Yeah. Parang Zamboanga, no? He stayed like for what? How many days?
I
He's
think
not
he
going to
stayed
stay in
for
Loon or in Bohol for like
9 days. It's just a Zamboanga.
Oh. But
Or more
this
yata,
Bohol
ano.
trip?
Well, ang alam namin, bukas, hopefully he'll come home, but we don't know the schedule of the President. He wants to see the entire, at least the province, the towns devastated by the earthquake, and be able to also talk to the provincial and local officials there to give a reassurance that the national government is always ready to provide assistance to them.
After that Zamboanga stay, like you said, no, 9 days, pagbalik sa palasyo, ang daming homework, ano?
Kita namin yung pile na
Oo.
trabaho. Talagang
Tatlong mesa daw?
sa dami ng trabaho, but na-dispose niya, masipag si Presidente, he was able to do a lot of work after he came back. And so he's there to just to assure the Boholanons that nandoon po siya.
Okay. Buti na lang, tigaroon ka. Anyway, let's talk about the Pulse Asia survey. Ana Tabunda was on the newscast earlier tonight, and she was saying that yung 6 percentage point increase is nothing really, no? If it's 7 points, yun ang malaki, yun ang may ibig sabihin.
Pero ang expectation kasi ng mga kalaban ng ating Pangulo they're expecting the President to get a hit. And so it was really a big surprise for them when they realized that instead of going down, the numbers of the President went up. And it shows the affirmation of the people na hindi sila naniniwala and they're not deceived by all this noise about the President being part of this whole charade. And all this, kasama siya sa, people still believe. Ang laki ng tiwala ng Presidente. Kay Presidente na hindi siya magnanakaw, na he's here to help. And by the way, 67% ng survey sa Pulse Asia approved the way he handled the issue of PDAF. I think that's not being broadcasted loudly, but the people believe in the President.
Oo.
Simple truth is, like the question kanina sa FOCAP, is that talagang mukhang Teflon president si Pangulong Aquino.
He is? You believe that?
Yes, because he's a man of integrity and no issue.
Kahit ano pang iba mo sa kanya. No?
Kasi alam ng taong bayan, malinis siya. And he's a man of his word, he's a man of integrity. He's honest. In fact, may nagtanong ba, is it because of genetics? And he thanked his parents because it's true. There's a legacy of honesty and integrity running along the Aquino family.
The survey was done September 14 to 27, and Ana Tabunda was saying that hindi nila na-capture doon yung DAP issue dahil hindi pa nag-uumpisa
It's possible,
by that time.
but marami rin din, kita mo rin yung, I think if I could speak about the survey, knowing that I'm not an expert, but you could see that people are not a single issue based, they don't look at ano yung issue. It was a slew of events in that whole period
Right.
September 14 to 27, unlike yung SWS, I think 3 days lang. Not to disparage SWS, but yung survey period ng Pulse Asia involved a number of PDAF during the entire time that the president was also in Zamboanga.
And that was the second week of, Zamboanga.
It was all there. I mean, all the hits that we could have taken, all the, it was really flooded with PDAF issues and as well as Zamboanga. The people realized talaga where the president was, and the honesty of the president really just came out.
Let's talk about the president's speech at FOCAP today. As you mentioned earlier, his main message was, let's keep our eye on the ball, don't be sidetracked by the DAP issue. He also went out of his way to defend DAP. When this was announced back in 2011, was this the same name that was used? I must have been, on maternity leave or something? Because
I'm not sure if that was the same name, but that was the same program.
Same program.
It was by the way, hindsight, it was a successful economic stimulus package. Diba? It was, we're down by 3.1 kami tayo sa GDP, and we need to stimulate the economy.
Yeah.
So part of that was using those savings and putting them into good news. Infrastructure spending. We put some in a number of agencies. What made it, I guess, look bad was that because there were allegations that it was misused again by some senators. But if
dahil binigay na nga sa mga senador at sa Congress.
Because as stated by the president, we've consulted the national government agencies. What's wrong if you consult also those people who are elected by the officials elected by the people? They have a mandate similar to the president. They were directly elected. You just don't consult people who are not elected. Cabinet officials are not elected. And so I guess it's proper for us to ask the senators, the lawmakers. The problem was that in the same manner as in PDAF, some of the alleged lawmakers allegedly misused the funds. And by the way, of the total amount that we use for savings, only 9% were given to the senators. And out of that 9%, it was not even the 9% that were misused. Only a portion of those senators who allegedly misused the funds. So it's a lot less. But overall, this was a very successful economic stimulus package acknowledged by the World Bank, acknowledged by the 3 ratings agencies. We were given investment grade status, first ever in our country's history. So malaki ang tulong nung DAP. Except that, like what the president said, parang, teka, baliktad yata ito . Sila ang nagkasala, sila ang nagnakaw,
tapos kayo
pero kami ang nagkakamali, parang kami ang malaking kasalanan. Pero ang kasalanan, wala kaming kasalanan insofar as pagnakaw. Ang kine-question nun yung constitutionality, that's okay with us. But that's fine.
Let me just go back to my question. It seems like a simple thing, just the name. It's just that, because kanina, like the president was explaining, sabi niya, we announced this in 2011. Wala namang sa inyong, in so many words, wala naman sa inyong nagtanong kung ano ba yan, or, nag-oppose, no? Tapos biglang, eto ngayon, you're all acting like you've heard it for the first time, which is why I'm asking, what was the name that was used before? And, it might be as simple as that.
I don't know why this is the only time that they've heard it. Kasi alam ko, even COA, even World Bank mentioned Disbursement Acceleration Program. In the COA audit of 2011 or 2012, covering the period of 2011, they already mentioned Disbursement Acceleration Program. And the World Bank, in its report lauding the Philippines for its economic stimulus package, also mentioned the Disbursement Acceleration Program.
Itong mga sinasabi mo, mga DOM, sila ba yung source ng quote-unquote well-funded attack?
Ay, hindi ko naman pwedeng, ang gusto ko lang sabihin dyan yung the general flow, walang sumasagot doon sa issue ng paliwanag nyo bakit kung hindi kayo nagnakaw. Defend yours. Explain to the people. Imbis na sila magpaliwanag, kami ang nagpapaliwanag. Okay lang sa amin yun, pero tandaan lang natin, hindi kami ang nagnakaw, hindi kami ang corrupt.
What are you saying? Like Senator Jinggoy, when he made that privileged speech and then talked about that, and then he didn't even.
Well, obviously there
that.
was some
He
misdirection. I mean, after that, the entire media were asking, ano ba yung sinasabi nila? Ano ba yung sinasabi ni Senator Jinggoy? So the shift of media from
PDAF to
the
that.
misuse of PDAF shifted to some other things. And a number of reports came out. Kesyo raw nilagyan namin ang mga senador. Kesyo raw, ano ba itong DAP na to?
Hindi nyo nilagyan ang mga
unconstitutional
senador?
Hindi namin nilagyan.
Hindi nyo
ang
ni-reward ang mga senador?
Hindi namin ni-reward ang senador. It was 2011 pa, Pia. Remember, we filed the impeachment case in December of 2011.
We filed, hindi we.
Sorry. Yung impeachment case was filed in 2011. Diba? The House of Representatives. But the President was out front and center.
Yeah.
He said, tama na ito.
Okay.
Diba? So, it was filed on December 15 yata of 2011.
Yeah, okay.
The Disbursement Acceleration Program was mentioned sometime in October 2011. So, klaro doon na we have savings.
Yeah.
Let's use this to stimulate the economy.
And the release was done in 2012. Just so happened after the trial. Yung release sa mga senador.
Check ko lang, pero ang alam ko, yung doon sa Disbursement Acceleration Program, it started way October 2011
Yeah.
Ang sinasabi kasi nila, yung entire DAP was unfairly, di ba? Pang ina-accuse pa si Secretary Butchabad. Siya raw may pakana nito. But it's really for the stimulus package
Kawawang Butch, ano?
Well, ina nga, unfair kay Butch na binubugbog siya, binubugbog yung pamilya niya. Napaka-unfair naman. We're doing the right thing. And I can assure the Filipino people that this government, the President, will do the right thing always.
So let's go back to that question. So where's the attack coming from? From the opposition? From the three kings?
Those who
what?
feel, I can't name names, okay? From those who feel that they're threatened by this daang matuwid.
Yung kinasuhan ng plunder. So we're talking about Jinggoy Estrada, Bong Revilla, Juan Ponce Enrile.
Para lang, may allegations na ganon. Pero klaro doon sa whatever's happening right now, there seems to be a concerted effort to take the issue away from the misuse of government funds. So there is
And divert it.
Divert it.
Yeah. Well, there was another so-called diversion. Zamboanga, even Miriam was saying that some other senator had funded this. Did government ever check on that piece of information?
If I'm not mistaken, we're still looking at we're investigating. But not on the allegation of Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago in particular, but on who would have the capacity to fund this incursion by the MNLF.
And what have you found out so far?
Wala pa. They're still under investigation by the security agencies.
Okay. Let's talk about Port, yung PDAF and Napoles. Are you excited to hear what she's going to say on November 7?
We would like
you look forward to it?
Well, number one, si Attorney Kapunan kasi, we'd like her to tell the truth. Ang concern ni Secretary, we also share the concern of Secretary Laila de Lima. Will it be also a venue for causing confusion?
What do you mean by that?
Yan ang sabi ni Secretary Laila de Lima, it can be an opportunity for her to disinform also and to drag everybody down. But siyempre, gusto namin lumabas yung katotohanan. Diba? It's important for us na lumabas ang katotohanan. But whether she's going to do it, there are legal ramifications kasi. Yeah. And so, si Attorney Kapunan already said in public that she is going to invoke the right against self-incrimination for her client. So as to that would mean for every question that the senator will ask, they will have to determine first, will this incriminate my client?
Yeah.
That's how.
When you invoke that right, then how do we see the issue then of immunity, state witness?
Well, they're studying it. I don't know how the Senate will fix the issue of immunity. So that's up to the senators to decide. But certainly, are we interested in knowing what will come out?
Yeah.
Hopefully the truth will come out.
Is the president going to back Laila de Lima's plans to have the passports of those involved in the scam canceled? That means the former chiefs of staff of the centers and the centers themselves?
You want to bring them back to face justice? Certainly would like all these people who have been charged to come back and face the courts. And if that's a way of bringing them back to the Philippines,
Yeah.
assuming that they're abroad, huh?
Yeah.
Assuming that they're abroad, cancellation of a passport it would difficult for them to travel.
But what would be the legal basis for that?
I think she's studying the passport law, but I don't know if there's already a basis for that.
You're not walking into a minefield by doing that.
Well, I'm sure Secretary Laila de Lima will be
Will know what she's
studying
doing, no?
the law very carefully.
Yeah. But canceling the passports of the senators themselves, the three?
But they're here.
No, but I mean, to make it...
No, but if they're here, that won't be a problem because once they're here, if it's a plunder case,
Yeah.
and if the ombudsman agrees that there is a plunder case, that's non-bailable.
Okay. Let's talk about the anointed one. But
Who
we'll
is
take a
the
break
anointed
first.
one?
Teka, we'll take a break first. Ako pa tinanong mo, dapat alam mo naman yun.
I don't-
News.PH will be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching News.PH on the Solar News channel. I'm Pia Hontiveros. Ba't ka natatawa? We're going to talk about the anointed one kasi. Of course, we still have with us Secretary Edwin Lacierda, presidential spokesman. The anointed one, it's curious, no, that the president didn't just come right out and say that Mar Rojas is the anointed one.
Because we don't know yet.
You don't know yet? What's so funny?
The president has not made any pronouncement yet.
You have this big smile on your face.
Because the
It's like
president-
you're so pleased that we're talking about Mar Rojas.
No,
as
the
anointed
president's
one.
consideration for as a successor, someone who shares the same principles as he does, somebody who has the shared vision, and somebody who will, as he said a while ago in FOCAP, one who will tread the same path and also perhaps improve his legacy.
And in your estimation, in your opinion, who would that be?
That's a good question to ask the president.
No, you. I'm asking you. Who do you think it should be?
I can't speculate right now, and I'm not authorized to speak on that matter.
Yeah, and on a personal level, sino ba yung gusto mo?
I can't speak on a personal level.
Why not?
Because I'm a spokesperson, I've been told that I have no personal opinion.
Okay, so you should be careful what you tweet also.
I don't tweet that.
Di ba sabi ni Frank Drilon na itaga mo sa bato si Mar ang kakandidato?
Yeah, I remember that.
So,
That's Senator Dillon's assessment. As far as the president is concerned, we have not spoken about it primarily because there's still 3 years of work to be done.
when you say we have not spoken about it, you mean you and the president
Yes, we have
with
not
other cabinet
discussed-
members. But have you discussed this with Mar Rojas himself?
He's busy doing his job as a DILG secretary.
Yeah.
And
That's
Butch
not an
also-
answer to my question.
He's also busy as a budget
No, my
secretary.
question is, have you discussed it with Mar? I mean, he may be busy, but have you discussed it with him?
He's never discussed it in a way that will be satisfactory to you because he's always said, our eye is on the ball of governance. So as to 2016, we have never discussed 2016.
Wala pa.
Talaga,
Okay.
in all honesty, we have never discussed it kasi talaga trabaho ang pinag-uusapan. There's so many reforms that need to be further pushed.
Yeah. The president was saying earlier in FOCAP nga na, why would I tell you who is the anointed one or the chosen one or whatever? And it's like putting, making him a target, no? But Mar already is a target, di ba?
Because nga, he ran as vice president the last time. But sa totoo lang, we've never discussed it. I mean, always discussion is on the concerns, the reforms, the problems of, for instance, we were in Bohol. We discussed primarily the rehabilitation efforts. You know, we were in Bohol on a Friday, We had 2 long meetings, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. In between, we visited Loon and Carmen.
Yeah.
And we were all discussing how to improve the coordination. Because remember, there was no problem with relief goods. There was a problem with distribution. We fixed that. We tried to make sure that the goods would reach the local governments.
Yeah, you really are a spokesman. Ang galing mo kumambyo.
No,
Para
but
akala mo
seriously.
dito mapupunta yung discussion. Yes, no, seriously, I understand. I understand what you're saying. But anyway, wait, let's go back to that.
But you can ask the president that if you have a...
when we have that interview. Okay. But Maros always seems to be with the president or always on the front lines. But so there's Serendra, the Napoles Surrender, Zamboanga, and now Bohol. Did you notice that?
He was tasked to do those things primarily because
by the president.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
so talaga of all the cabinet members, talaga ang iniisip ni presidente si Mar ang gagawa.
Kasi tingnan mo
si Mar padala ko.
yung sa Bohol local government issue yun eh. And also si Dinky was there. Pag bagyo local government issue rin yan, doon rin si Dinky. Parang magkasama na talaga. You know instinctively sino ang kailangan nandoon.
Yeah.
So the president, for instance, it's Bohol, it's the local government, the provincial government. So siyempre, kailangan din si Secretary Mar doon, tapos si Dinky rin kasama rin.
Yeah, and then Surrender being police.
Yes, it was police.
Okay, sorry, I'm running out of time kasi. But anyway,
we'll
but
be short also. Short and sweet answers.
Okay, I'll get back to that. I forgot what I was going to say. It's not here. But you know what was also interesting was by answering that question that way, the president was saying that the Liberal Party is not going to be choosing. Am I correct in saying that the Liberal Party will not be choosing the standard bearer for 2016 because ang tanong sa kanya is, so who's going to be the anointed one, who's going to be the chosen one, no? And then he said, why will I say?
Wait a minute, you're asking me to repeat the answer of the president, but hey, I'm not a Liberal Party member. You know, the misconception is I'm Liberal Party.
No. But you know, I'm asking you as the spokesman of the president. So is that the implication therefore? Because if the president is going to be the one to choose the anointed one, parang mali yun, no? If the president is going to choose the stand bearer of LP, therefore the party will not be choosing the stand bearer of LP.
I'm not sure if the logic is correct, but I'm also not sure if I'm in a position to say that. I will answer that question.
Okay. Who is your candidate for 2016? I mean, you'll have to vote for somebody. You know, I'm sure you take it seriously when you vote, di ba?
Yes.
I mean, you give your vote to somebody. In 2010, you were the spokesman for the campaign. So in 2010, you voted for Noynoy Aquino and Mar Rojas, right?
Yes.
So in 2016?
In 2016, I can tell you, and that my personal answer is, I will vote for whoever the president tells us his successor will be.
Okay. We have questions from some netizens. There's 3. I'm sorry, I forgot to get the name of the netizen. No? There's one about, tell us about datagov.ph in the upcoming hackathon.
How'd you know that?
I'm sure it was somebody who, tauhan nyo yun sinabihan nyo.
Data.gov.ph is we're going to come up with a new website called Open Data Philippines. Data.gov.ph will be that open data website where we will put all the government data sets to a particular website. We're talking about making all data sets of government, with the exception of some defense and security agencies.
Yeah, you mean anything and everything?
Anything and everything which the people would like to know. For instance, DSWD, we have DepEd, CHED, all data sets will be given to media. I'm sorry, to the public.
Yeah.
And part of it, an improvement on other countries' open data is that we're going to visualize the data. It's not just raw data sets. Data sets kasi it's so raw.
Okay, not just raw data sets, mening meron kayong presentation,
May
so
visualization
it's like graphics,
kami.
visualization.
Kasama na yun.
Are you saying that if you have this, then we don't need FOI?
This is the executive's department's contribution to FOI, up to dissemination of public information. Because FOI is a law. We leave it with Congress to do that. But in the meantime, by the way, we've been doing FOI in all but name. We've been rolling out all government information.
In all but name, but then
but
there will be the support for an FOI.
It's up to the legislature to come up with the FOI.
But will there be support from Malacanang?
We are submitting our version of the FOI.
Yeah.
But in the absence of the legislative action, we have come up with a number of initiatives towards the dissemination of information.
Okay. Another tweet was to please ask you about the quote-unquote barely moving PPP projects and why can't the government hire technocrats? I guess what he means is, why are you always hiring lawyers too? No offense meant to you guys,
No,
lawyers.
I think si Secretary Jonabay has already answered a number of those issues.
Yeah.
And I would just leave it to, he explained to us a number of issues on the PPPs. And it's not, and truthfully, it's not entirely government's lack of initiative. We want to go through it, but sometimes when there's a bid, there's a concern by the bidders na we won't be able to reach it. And sometimes, that's why we
Okay.
asked Secretary Jonabay is in a better position to answer that.
Okay, then we should have June here.
Yes,
again.
next time.
But you know, it's good. I asked about the PPP. Now I remember what I was going to ask you about Mar Rojas.
What?
Because he's on the NEDA board now, right?
Yes, and
Yeah, why?
also PCDSPO.
Yes. PCDSPO is
Ricky
kayo,
Carandang.
Ricky Carandang.
Oh, Ricky,
Why?
it's Ricky.
So interesting.
I have no
Parang
idea.
ano.
There's,
You have no idea?
si
Okay.
Secretary Balisacan recommended that DILG be included and also PCDSPO be included.
Yeah. Why?
I think for purposes of integration, I suppose.
We should have Mar Rojas here, no, to explain that na lang.
Yeah, but
It'd
I
be
think it's
interesting.
for purpose of integration because
Okay.
some of the projects, will also involve local government. So it will be good to also get the perspective from DILG.
Yeah, okay. Another question from Jester in Exile. O yan, Pierre, ha? I asked your question. What is the President's administration stand on RA 10175? Repeal or not, and why?
What's that, the cybercrime?
Yes.
Cybercrime, remember that the President's position towards, you have to be responsible with your rights. And if there should be also be appropriate sanctions when a right is violated. So
Okay.
exactly what it is, we leave it with Congress, but there
You
should
leave it
be...
with Congress. But what is Malacanang's stand? So the question kasi, no, if you can just
The
answer
very
that.
issue is
repeal
libel,
or
di ba?
not? Repeal or not?
Hindi naman
Or
lahat yung
amend?
ano eh.
Repeal or amend?
Nakalimutan ko na yung discussion sa amin doon. Tagal na yun eh. We left
okay.
it with Congress or with the Supreme Court. In fact, the Supreme Court also left it with the legislature before we
Everybody's
decide on
leaving,
this.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there was a follow-up tweet kasi from Pierre, no, from Jester in Exile. He said, I'm not hopeful of a straight, unequivocal answer. Read that question related to the cybercrime law, but we never know.
I can't, all I remember, our position there is there is a need for cybercrime. There is a need because there are a number of crimes being committed through the internet. And that's something that we have to address.
Yeah.
The basic issue in the cybercrime law is the issue on libel.
Yeah.
Should there be punishment? Should there be
Okay.
a crime called cyber libel?
Cybercrime when it comes really to
There are a number of-
business, industry,
Yes,
more
there are a
that
number.
than controlling
But look, the
expression.
bloggers, the Twitter people, the tweets were angry about libel itself. In and of itself, the law itself is good, but when it came to cyber libel, that was where the fight about freedom of expression came in.
Yeah.
So that's something that we hoping that the Supreme Court will be able to address. But the law in and of itself, without the cyber libel, if you take out the libel, I'm sure the people will agree to that, diba? I think that was a basic issue on the cybercrime bill.
Yeah. Okay, I have a minute and a half, so very quickly, the INC medical mission the other Monday, you couldn't say no?
No, we were not.
You were not, hindi sa inyo humingi ng permiso?
Hindi, sa MMDA yun eh. Nabigla na lang
MMDA.
ako na on a Sunday, tinext ako ni Francis
Yeah.
on the traffic situation. In fact, I asked an INC reporter in the Malacanang press corps, ano ba itong ginagawa niyo? And
Yeah.
she explained it's a medical mission.
Yeah.
I did not, however, knew that they were going to block the streets.
Because you know, the way people were reacting on social media na parang, what? The government allowed this? Parang ganun, ano?
Pero in fairness naman, it was a one-day medical mission for INC.
Okay.
We have a lot of Catholic festivities which block some parts of the city.
Nazareno, etc.
Yung nga lang siguro, yung coordination lang siguro
Yeah.
na
Okay.
pwede improve yun next time.
Okay, 2016 is not just an election year, that's the year that President Aquino will step down from
Yes,
office.
we only have 900, if I'm not mistaken, 981 or 980 days left.
Do you have a counter in the
Yes,
office?
we do.
You do?
Yes, we do.
Yung
The president
tinatanggal
has
yung ganon?
one. We have one.
Really?
We're just waiting for it to be done. Seriously.
What do you mean you can't wait to
Wait, 2
get
days
over?
ago.
To
What
get
day
this
today?
over?
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
981 days.
981 days.
Because on
Okay.
Monday, we were in the President's office and we saw it was 983 days.
What is it? Parang ganitong papel na malaki, tas may...
Ganito. And hindi imbis na pa ganyan. Tapos
Okay.
nasulat yung 983 days.
Print out.
Print out.
Print out talaga.
So,
Okay.
we also have one. We tear it every day.
And you all can't wait to get out of office. Paano kung yung presidente sa 2016 ay hindi na bale? Ayaw mo naman sagutin yung tanong na yun. But he'll step down from office.
Alam mo, by the way, he will step down from office, pero
Yes.
ang dami nagsasabi sa kanya, huwag na kayong bumaba.
Huwag na kayong bumaba.
Another term pa.
Paano?
Ayaw niya, siyempre.
Charter
Constitution.
change. Sino nagsasabi?
We follow the Constitution.
Sino
one term.
nagsasabi?
Ang dami nagsasabi. I can tell
Because?
you. Because of good governance. Because the President has done so much for the
Is
country.
that a tempting offer for you guys?
The President has been tempted and he has shied away from that. It's even, his temptation is more than
Yeah. Okay,
the
so
number of times kay Jesus binigay. Ang dami na niyang nagsabi, Mr. President, kailangan pa ho namin kayo ng 6 na taon pa. Hindi lang 3 beses siya tinempt.
Yeah.
Ay,
Okay.
it was even, not correction, it was not even a temptation for him. He immediately said no, hindi.
No, yeah.
Follow
Okay.
the 6-year rule.
Okay. But, so he'll step down from office. Would he run for lower office?
He was discussing to us anong gagawin niya after
Yeah.
pagkapangulo. No, he doesn't, I don't remember him saying anything about public office after 2016.
So definitely not.
Wala. He's discussing about what he plans to do.
Okay. Is he getting married? Never mind. Thank you very much, Secretary Edwin Lacierda. And may pahabol pa si Jester in Exile. So is the Wende saying the admin wants RA 10175 to stand?
It's the issue on the cyber the libel thing.
Okay.
What we're after is that the President believes that there should be appropriate sanction if a right has been violated.
Yeah.
As to what that
Okay.
sanction is it something that the legislature can work out?
Okay, we are so over time. Thank you very much,
Okay, thank
Edwin
you very
Lacierda.
much.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching. I'm Pia Hontiveros. This is News.PH. See you again next Wednesday. Good night.